Okay, so I had to end the video because the screen kept showing playing a game on the bottom of the screen. But anyway, what I was saying is, you know, the Gentiles are the Israelites in the New Testament. That's who they're referring to. The whole Bible, whenever you see the word Gentile in the New Testament, it's referring to the Israelites who were separated, and who stopped following the customs, traditions, laws, and statutes of the Father. Okay, so I'm going to start out at Romans 9:25. And it says, "As he saith also in Osi," which is another word for Hosea, the prophet Hosea, "I will call them my people, which were not my people, and her beloved, which was not beloved. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living power," or Yahweh. So right here, 25 and 26, okay, Israelites, they were considered Gentiles because they were considered not the people of Yahweh. And why? Because we turned our backs on Yahweh. And so when we turned our backs on Yahweh, he abandoned us, right? But that's why the Gentiles have to be grafted back in. You know, if you're an Israelite, just like our forefather, he started off as Jacob, and he had to be converted to Israel, right? He had to get his name was literally changed to Israel. So Israelites were considered not his people. All right, and it says in 26, "And it shall come to pass that in the place where it is said unto them, Ye are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living Yahweh." That's referring to right now in America, because this is where the salvation is going to take place. It's going to take place in America. The chariots are going to save us and take us up, receive us here in America during the destruction, during the nuclear war, World War III. And it says in the place where it's said to them, "You're not my people," because over here in America, we've never been called the children of Yahweh. They gave us bywords. They called us black people. They called us Mexicans. They called us Hispanics. They called us Latinos. They call us colored. They call us Native Americans. They call us African American. They call us Spanish, or they call us Mexican American, They don't call us the people of Yahweh. They don't call us the Israelites. But it says at the end of 26, there shall they be called the sons of the living power," or Yahweh. Children, if you look at it in the Hebrew, it actually goes back to sons. Okay, that's why I said that. So there's that prophecy, that's going to happen. We were not his people, and then we were never told we were his people in America. But this is the place where we will be said to be his people. So, okay, so that's that. And let me precept this really quick. This is going to be Revelation, and we're going to go 18 and 4. Revelation 18 and 4 says, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues." So he's saying, come out of her, my people, because he's referring to the Israelites. He's saying, hey, come out of this darkness. Come out of this deep sleep. You think you're Mexican. You think you're black. You think you're a Native American. But Yahweh is telling us to come out of her, my people. And what's her? The whore of Babylon, America. One of the ways we can prove it's the whore of Babylon is they named this place after Amerigo Vespucci, but they didn't call it Amerigo. This is not the United States of Amerigo. No, it's the United States of America, which is basically the female version of Amerigo. Just like if you have, you know, my slave name is Stephen. You know, if there's a girl named Stephanie, you know that's what that's like. They named America after America, not Amerigo, the male version, because America is the whore of Babylon. Okay, that has all the kings, all the leaders, all the nations drunk off her wine. Really quick, through the Spirit, this came to mind. I'm going to pull this out. Psalms 49 and 11. And it says here, this is talking about the heathen, talking about the Edomites. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Okay, so all these continents, all these countries, they're named after Edomites. All right, so you want to talk about Amerigo Vespucci. He was I believe he's a Roman Edomite. You want to talk about, and I don't quote me on that, but I know he was an Edomite. You want to talk about Africa was named after Scipio Africanus, who was a Greek Edomite. Okay, so that's what they do. They name all their lands after themselves. Once they conquer it, they call it after their own name, just like it says in Psalm 49:11. All right, and I'm gonna keep reading. I'm gonna go back to Romans. Romans is gonna be. We're gonna start out at 13. So Romans 1 and 13. Now I would not have you ignorant, brethren. And it talks about brethren. If you look up brethren, it deals with bloodline. All right, so it's not talking about every single nation. It's talking about the brethren of Israel. Okay? That oftentimes I purposed to come unto you, but was let hitherto, that I might have some fruit among you, also, even as among other Gentiles. So he's literally talking to the brethren, calling them Gentiles, meaning, like I said earlier, the Gentiles are sometimes considered, or I should say the other way around, Israelites are sometimes considered Gentiles, okay? And reading on, 14, I am debtor both to the Greeks and to the barbarians, both to the wise and to the unwise. And don't get it twisted. This Greek he's talking about is the Israelite Greek. Just like in America, I'm considered an American. But according to the Bible, I'm an Israelite. Okay? So just like the Apostle Paul, he was considered a Roman because he was a citizen of Rome. But he was actually an Israelite by nationality. Okay? So 14, where it says Greek and barbarians, hey, we read it earlier. The Israelites were in every single nation as a curse, scattered. Okay? They were scattered among the Greeks. They were scattered among the barbarians. They were scattered among every single nation that you could think of. Okay? Both to the wise and to the unwise. So as much as in me is I am ready to preach the gospel to you that are at Rome also. Okay, so he's talking about his brethren. He's talking about the Gentiles who are his brethren, the ones who need to be grafted in, okay? The ones who split up, okay, from the nation of Israel. It's northern kingdom and southern kingdom. They split up. So 15. So as much as in me is, I am ready to preach the gospel to you that are at Rome also. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Yahushua, for it is the power of Yahweh unto salvation to everyone that believeth, to the Jew first, and also to the Greek. And remember, the Jew was the tribe of Judah and his companions, right? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and also to the Greek. And the Greek was the northern kingdom Israelite who was mingling with the heathen because they split up from the original nation of Israel. All right. So I'm going to jump down to Romans 1 and 21. Because that when they knew Yahweh, they glorified him not as Yahweh, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. Meaning the heart means mind when you go into the Hebrew. So their foolish mind was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools, and changed the glory of the uncorruptible Yahweh into an image made like to corruptible man, and to the birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. Wherefore Yahweh also gave them up to uncleanness through the lusts of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie, and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause Yahweh gave them up into vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burn in their lust toward one toward another, men with men working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was meet. And even as they did not like to retain Yahweh in their knowledge, Yahweh gave them over to a reprobate mind, to do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of Yahweh, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, and without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of Yahweh, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. So that was a lot, okay? I'm going to try and break it down as good as possible. Starting at 21, it says, they didn't glorify Yahweh. They gave into their vain imaginations, which people still do, right? They want to go off of what they think is right. They want to go off of their emotions, all right, instead of going off of the way the Bible is written. People go off of their own, and why is that? Because they're following all these false doctrines. Catholicism, Christianity, Jehovah's Witness, Protestants, Muslim, Islam. All of these false doctrines, they're giving up to their vain imaginations. They claim to be wise, number 22 says, but they became fools. Why are they fools? Because the word foolish or fool means non-believer. So literally they're fools because they don't believe the Bible. Okay? They want to believe anything else under the sun except the scriptures, except the Most High, except the actual truth. Okay? So that shows you right there. Okay? I'm going to go to 23, and he changed the glory, because it says here basically the uncorruptible image of Yahweh made like to corruptible man, and to birds, four-footed beasts, and creeping things. And why? Because they started taking on dumb idols. They started worshiping all kinds of dumb shit, all kinds of different, madness. And a lot of our people are still worshiping that stuff. So 24 talks about Yahweh gave them up to their uncleanliness through the lusts of their own hearts. You see that all the time now. That's what Israelites do. They don't even want to they find out they're an Israelite and they leave it at that. They don't want to learn the rest of the truth. Because why? There's 2/3 of our people that are wicked and that have to be destroyed in the fire. That's what the Bible says, okay? believe that's in Zechariah, the 13th chapter. 27 is dealing with homosexuality and lesbianism, And where did these customs start? It started out when they took on the customs of the heathen. Because Israel, in Israel, true nation of Israel, the laws were, hey, if you were homosexual or you were a lesbian or any of that wicked, activity, you were literally put to death. Our people didn't take on those customs till they started mingling with the heathen. All right. We're going to go to 28. They didn't retain Yahweh in their knowledge. Okay, they didn't do that because they started following other gods, other customs. And this all started happening in the book of Maccabees with the current doctrines, when they started accepting the current doctrines. And I'm actually going to jump into that real quick. I'm going to go to, this is basically a precept. Oops, I hit the wrong button. So we're going to go to Maccabees. First Maccabees, chapter 1. And I'm going to start at verse 9. This is after Greeks started taking over on the planet Earth. It says, and after it's talking about Alexander the Greek. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, so did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. All right, so when the so-called white man began ruling, it says here that the evils were multiplied in the earth. Okay, and why? Because they've never followed the laws of Yahweh, because they've never been given the laws of Yahweh. Okay, so they're literally they're just they're the devil, man. And we're going to go to 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. Okay? So right here it's telling you those wicked Israelites, those 2/3, all right, the ones who don't believe the truth. The ones who, they just can't accept this truth. They can't stomach it. They can't swallow it. But they made an allegiance, basically, with the heathen. All right? It says, in those days went out of Israel, wicked men from Israel, who persuaded many, saying, let us go make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. See, so they wanted to be down with the heathen. So that's why in Romans, we had just read Yahweh was giving them up to their vain imaginations and all of that. He let them stay in darkness. Let's go to 26. That one's kind of heavy. So that the princes and the elders mourned, the virgins and the young men were made feeble, and the beauty of women was changed. Why was the beauty? Look at it now. What it's manifested into. Women are shaving their heads. Women are, it's a beautiful woman in Israel. She always had long hair. That was her glory. I don't know what scripture that is, but the Bible does say that a woman's glory is her hair. So whenever you see a woman shaving her head, that's actually a wicked thing. All right. Let me jump to 41. All right, it's just bringing out the meat. Moreover, First Maccabees 1:41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. So Antiochus was a wicked Edomite. I believe he was a Greek. And, this is what they did. He said, everybody leave their own laws and start being a heathen and follow their ways. It says in 43, yeah, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. And the word profanity means out of the church. So they literally took the Sabbath out of the church. They started sacrificing unto idols. They started consenting to the religion of the heathen. All right, and I'm talking about Israelites. This is when Israelites became Gentiles, okay? Because they left the laws. And then, like I said earlier, anytime you leave the law, you're considered a Gentile in Yahweh's eyes, okay? Let's see. Let's go down to 49. This is just more meat. To end, this is 49. To the end, they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. Okay? Does it starting to make sense now? Who the Gentiles are? Y'all became Gentiles when you left the laws and statutes and commandments of Yahweh. You're considered a Gentile. Alright? If you're still calling yourself a black dude, you're still a Gentile. If you're still calling yourself a Mexican dude, call yourself a Gentile.